Aha, it's Tuesday. My name is David, aka Ultra. This is James.
AKA not Ultra.
jchensor.
How's everybody going?
I don't know why I always just call you James. I never say jchensor.
Dude, no one ever calls me jchensor.
It's like it's almost died.
Nobody ever comes up to me and is like, hey, are you jchensor? You know, or something like that.
Right.
They're always like, you're James Chen, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody ever says, hey, are you David Graham? I've heard that no times. Like, it may be in my life. Not even just fighting game related. Yeah. Anyway, so it's been a big week. Lots of interesting stuff. Of course, it's E3. E3 is happening basically over there, like 20 minutes that way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, actually, I guess 20 minutes that way. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the freeway wall right here, so it'd be 20 minutes that way, right?
No, because it's parallel to the freeway wall. Oh, yeah, all right, you're right.
Okay, see, this is the first time my directions have actually been correct.
That's actually, and it's rare that mine are not correct, so I'm used to just being right about that. Anyway, he's right. It's right over there. I am not going to E3. All I'm doing, all I've been doing, and all I will be doing is just the Smash thing today. Yeah. The Super Smash Brothers 4 Invitational was today.
Right.
Hope everybody got a chance to see that. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Mortal Kombat. We'll talk about Killer Instinct. We'll talk about Persona. We'll talk about Ultra Street Fighter 4. There's a lot of stuff.
We should just talk about the Nintendo digital presentation thing they did today.
Oh, you know what? We should do that too.
Because that was, I mean, obviously.
Let's start with that. Let's do that.
Okay. So you want to just start with
that? Let's get in there.
Dude, because I mean, obviously Sony and Microsoft had their conference yesterday.
Yes.
But I don't even care.
Not even really that much.
Because Nintendo, I mean, this feels like they're gunning for it right now. They are doing everything they humanly can, I think, to try to get back in the game. And I feel like they're
doing a good job.
Yeah. This is the first year, I think, in a while that everyone's excited for Nintendo. Yeah,
I mean, I am. I don't own either a 3DS or a Wii U, but I don't feel like I can avoid that. Mm-hmm. I feel like at some point in the not too distant future, when these games come out, I'm gonna have to own both of those things.
Yep.
There's gonna be no avoiding it. Yeah. So, what in particular did you like?
Well, I just like the way it started because you remember E3 last year when they were announcing the Xbox One, PS4, all these things, right? They had the press conferences and everything like that. I said that Nintendo needed to take the opportunity to just say, you know what? Games are fun. Our console's all about gaming. Our console's all about fun. And they didn't do it last year.
Yeah.
They didn't do it last year. But lo and behold, the very first thing that happens besides the epic fight at the start was Reggie Fils-Aimé just saying, you know what? We want to remember what it was like when games were fun again. And that I think stood out to me more than anything else. Because they just said, you know what? We don't care about all this other crap. Here's games. Games. A
lot of them.
And, dude, like, all of them looked amazing, dude. Like, I don't know.
So clearly for me, Smash Brothers is the one that I'm most interested in. I mean, I'm sure that's the case for most people watching this. But after that, what would you say was the most interesting game that you saw?
I mean, I have to really go with Splatoon.
I think there's no other choice.
Because, I mean, everything else, you're like, okay, yeah, here comes here's a new Yoshi game. Here's a new Kirby game, you know.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, the Yoshi game I thought looked kind of interesting. I thought the yarn is kind of an interesting take on it.
Dude, I want one of those little Yoshis.
It's kind of cool.
The little Yoshi that they had.
Yoshi, yeah.
Dude, I want one of those.
It'd be cool.
So badly. But yeah, honestly, like, everything about Splatoon kind of caught me by surprise. One,
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, right? Like,
great
who
way to
knew
put
this
it.
was even coming, right?
Yeah.
Secondly, when it started up, you're like, this is kind of weird. And then all of a sudden it was like a completely different take on the third-person shooter.
Yeah.
Right? On the Gears of War format, right? Basically capturing area instead of trying to kill each other. And then, like, the mechanic of the squids going in there. And, you know, honestly, shout-outs to Nintendo for making the entire cast, like, actually, you know, female characters. Like,
I think there are boys in it, too.
Was there?
Aren't there?
I don't know.
I believe there are.
Okay.
But I could be wrong about it. But in any case.
Yeah, it looked like at least it was all or the majority, which was, I think, is really cool. I think that sends a really awesome... Especially because... you're making a shooter game.
Right, yeah.
And then, you know, and you decide to go that route instead of, you know, the standard, let's just do this brolic dudes, you know,
right.
going around and with craziness and stuff like that. I think it was really cool. So
yeah, somebody sent me a tweet saying that the thing that they were happiest about it was that it wasn't just stubble guys shooting.
Yeah,
there are other things too.
Yeah.
I was interested in when they first showed it. I thought it looked very cool, but I thought it was mostly just a regular shooter. Like the paint only served to speed you up or slow you down,
right.
And then like there was this weird like diving mechanic, and I was like, oh, that's kind of an interesting idea. But then I heard later that it's explicitly about space control.
Yeah,
which like really gets me going. Okay, whenever I talk about fighting games, right, that's what I talk about. I don't care about the mix-ups at all.
Right.
Only a means to an end for me. Combos too. It's all about space control. So I'm so excited for a game that's like that.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've played a game like that. That seems like a very unique take on this kind of thing. And I'm really hoping that it will be, you know, that'll feel something like Go in a shooter. That's like what I'm hoping for. I think that would be super rad.
Yeah.
That would be super cool. I haven't played a shooter or been excited for a shooter in I don't know, a dozen years at least, 15 years maybe.
Dude, I tweeted you, I haven't ever seen a first-person or third-person shooter that's really drawn my attention. I mean, unless you count something like Resident Evil 4, but that's a completely different thing. That's more third-person, really slow shooting, right? But, yeah, because, I mean, I don't play first-person shooters because they make me sick. I actually get motion sickness.
Oh, really? Do you?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. It just looked really exciting to me. I was actually pleasantly surprised by this game. So
I used to play Go all the time, actually. My friends and I played a lot of Go back in the day.
Which one's that one?
Go? Like the board game?
The actual
the board game
the
Go.
Actual Go. Oh,
actual
okay,
Go,
okay,
not
yeah.
like some
I was
video
about to say, like, what the heck is, like, did they steal the name? I was about to get mad.
No,
I was about to do a
thing.
James Chen rant. No,
Yeah.
dude, Go is amazing. Dude, that's right. That should be the perfect game for you.
That game? Yeah, totally.
Dude, that game is
I haven't played it in a million years now, so I'm sure I wouldn't be very good.
I have a board downstairs.
Oh, I'm sure you'll beat me. It's been so long.
I haven't played forever.
Well, okay, maybe we'll set it up
But
sometime.
the game,
anyway,
Go is all about that territory capture.
Yeah, exactly,
So good.
So I really, really like that. And I agree. I thought that Nintendo was definitely the most interesting of the presentations.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt.
Even games like that, I was thinking to myself, were gonna be like, meh, whatever. Like Hyrule Warriors, which is just Dynasty Warriors, which is like just kill everything. I thought was gonna be kind of meh, but then as soon as you see it, it's like all the Zelda creatures and stuff like that. I don't know. I got excited about that.
I'm not very interested in that, but I think it's cool that they're gonna have so many different characters be playable. I think that's pretty interesting.
Oh, so it looks like some people are saying that there actually is an official Pac-Man trailer now.
Is there really? Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay, well,
okay.
maybe we'll try to
play that later on.
Let's just play it. Yeah, sure.
We'll just play it on stream later on. So,
sure.
But
so other than Nintendo, of course, there were other presentations.
Fighting game stuff, right? Or
well, I mean, let's just while we're talking about E3, just kind of wrap that up.
I mean, I didn't. So Nintendo was the only one that I went back and watched. I didn't see the Microsoft or the Sony.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually didn't watch them. I read a lot about them. You know, just tried to check out what I was missing and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, right now, someone pointed out this about the Nintendo press conference. Sorry to go back to it, but it's just like it's really cool that every game had a different visual presentation. Like there was like the yarn, and then all of a sudden, like that the Zelda U game was like really colorful and bright, and then the Kirby Clay, and you know, all the games seem to have like this different look to it. So obviously, like when I was checking out some of the stuff on the Sony and Microsoft press conference, like one of the things that stood out to me was Cuphead's, just because,
of course,
because it just looked really crazy,
awesome looking. The
one that I haven't checked out yet is the one that I think you were talking about that you really thought was
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, what was the deal
for it?
What's the deal with that game?
So the trailer is like you're in a spaceship. Well, you don't even know that at first, I think, but it comes in and you're like in this world that has dinosaurs and like red grass, and it's like very weird looking. And you're like, and you see like the names of species appear on the species themselves as you're like riding by, and then you realize you're in a spaceship, and you go up into space, and in like the same shot, like the camera doesn't break. Right. You're just like in space, and then you're flying over to another planet, and you're on another planet all of a sudden, and you explore that other planet. So I don't know anything about what the game is, but I can tell you that it involves space and dinosaurs and exploration, and that was it. That was it. And apparently, it's very interesting. Everybody who plays it spawns on a different world.
Oh, whoa.
So they like create worlds procedurally in some way.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody's experience is different, and they said that some people could spawn on that kind of world. It was kind of wet. They were like dinosaurs and whatever, plants. But you could also spawn on like a desert world, or just like all these very different things. And then I don't know what you do after that. I don't know what the actual game is.
Right.
It just seems like a really fascinating.
I mean, that's always the danger, right?
Yeah.
Because there's always been games that are kind of like that. Like, do you remember when, I think it was when the Sony PS3 was first announced, and they announced a game called Africa?
I don't remember.
And it was just like all these amazing safari shots, and all the animals looked super realistic and everything like that. They never figured out what to do for a game. It just basically became Pokemon Snap, but like not that really good or something like that.
Well, I don't think that's going to be the case with this one. It just didn't seem like it.
Right.
But I'm not sure. I just thought that the idea of procedurally generating a unique world for every player and the ability to explore all of those worlds. They said that the world can be infinite.
What?
I mean, in the sense that everybody who joins has a new world created for them.
Okay. I thought you could just like fly forever and like.
Maybe you can.
Maybe they can. Maybe every time a new world comes into scope, it generates a new kind of... Dude, that'd be
I don't
crazy.
know. I just think it's really, really cool.
Okay.
So that's what I was interested in. Anything else? I really thought Cuphead's was cool looking. Cuphead.
I heard EA and Ubisoft's like presentations weren't very good or something.
It's just not stuff that I care about. Really, is the only thing.
Gotcha.
That's all. I mean, maybe people were very interested in it. Presumably, some people were, but it wasn't your cup of tea stuff, right? Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Basically.
Okay, yeah. I mean, for me, dude, everything about the Nintendo one was just crazy to me.
It was the best one.
Yeah, I mean, even just like I played Kirby Canvas Curse on the DS, which is where you drew the little rainbow tracks. And
I played it too. Yeah.
So they made the sequel to that apparently now. So I'm definitely interested in that. So, but yeah, and Palutena, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, did you play Kid Icarus?
I have played it.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
And you know when I played was when I borrowed your 3DS.
Oh, but that was the new 3DS.
Yeah, that's the
Kid
only
Icarus.
one I've ever played.
You never played the original Kid Icarus. Okay.
That's it.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah.
Well, okay. So I guess let's talk about the fighting game portion, and we're going to start off talking about Smash Brothers.
Yes.
Are you trying to put up the trailer right now for Pac-Man?
I'm just trying to get it loaded so that way.
Looks like it's.
Is this it? Yeah, it looks
yeah,
like
that's definitely
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to get it up here so that way I'll have it ready to go when we get a chance. So.
Okay. All right. Fine. So. You want to talk about the Invitational, I guess, first?
Yeah, cool. Let's talk about that. So you were there live.
Right, so I went there.
I had a meeting for the first hour, so I had to miss a lot of it. So I only came in partway through. So you were there live. You got to see a lot of what actually went down. What were your impressions?
It was really cool. I had a really, really fun time.
Okay.
I got in thanks to Mark, man.
Nice. Shout out to Mark, man.
As always, he's such a great guy. So you get in there. It's in LA Live, which is a really big theater in downtown LA. It's right across the street from Staples Center, right across the street from where E3 is being held, and it's a really fancy spot. It's where a lot of really fancy bands play and lots of stuff like that happens there. Very big area, and almost the entire bottom floor of it was full of people. So
wow,
I don't know, maybe there were 1,000 or 500 people or something like that.
Okay.
A lot of people in any case, and people. I got there just before I started. People were already getting loud. There were people who were cosplaying in whatever character. people had signs that they were holding up. Yeah, there was definitely a very interested crowd for. People stood in line for many hours.
I heard they were there even for like almost the night before.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think it was one of the. It might have been Prague or Duran. I'm not sure which one. They tweeted like people were actually there like almost overnight just to wait for that. So
there you go.
Yeah.
And then the guy who was hosting it, Jeff, he came out and he introduced the players and the commentators, and I guess they got into it. The way that they picked their characters was that each of the players drew a number out of a hat, and then that number was the number of the order that you selected your character in. So that's how you got it, and it was character lock throughout the whole tournament.
Right.
The format I didn't think was the best format, so it was free for all
items. And
stuff. I'm not even necessarily opposed to items. I really don't like and I know that's the whole debate, but whatever. Right. I'm not. But the fact that it was free for all, I could do without that.
Right.
I would definitely much rather it be a 1v1 or even 2v2 kind of situation. What are you gonna do? They also had this fan voting thing.
Yeah, which was really confusing.
I didn't really understand it, to be honest. It seemed like sometimes it made a difference and sometimes not, and then like they played multiple times and I had to vote for somebody each time. I don't know. I was kind of lost. But they gave us these really, really cool, and I meant to bring it, these really, really cool cards that kind of like a little booklet that has the picture, big booklet of all of each of the characters in the game. And after the game was played, you flipped to the page that was the character that you wanted to support as fan favorite, and you held it up.
Right.
And it's a really nice little booklet that I'm pretty happy to have been able to get.
Nice.
The gameplay was awesome. I mean, you saw part of it, right?
Yeah. No, it looked fantastic.
Yeah.
I was just like rooting for Mega Man the whole time, but
Here's the funny thing about how the fan vote went. We could definitely see this happen. For example, there was Mega Man against I forget who it was now.
Yeah.
Was it Pikachu maybe?
Or something, and
it was something like that. But it was definitely like the older generation of people who were there versus the younger generation. You could totally see it was like me and Markman were like, yeah, Mega Man, and I'm like, not kids next to me, but maybe like people who were in their early 20s were Pikachu,
Nice.
So that kind of thing happened actually again and again. They were like, because for some reason, it just happened to be that characters that were matched up like that were like some rad old school character versus like it was like Little Mac versus like some new character, Greninja. I don't even know what that was until 2 months ago. Like,
right? Yeah, dude. Like, I just liked the presentation that they did. I liked the overall atmosphere. They did that. I mean, obviously they had the commentary going over the speakers, right? So in-house you could hear it.
We could hear it.
Which obviously is not necessarily great for fighting game tournament events unless we can figure out a way to do it. But I don't want to put players in soundproof booths or anything like that.
They I think tailored their commentary.
Yeah.
I thought they did a good job of it. They weren't being terribly technical or insightful. All those guys have the capability to do that. I think they were just kind of... They were going more towards the narration side, considering
for sure.
the gigantic number of people watching who might not know all that stuff. And also, maybe for the players too, it's not to like point out like, oh, he could have done X, Y, or Z, in fear of maybe the next time the player actually does that.
Right.
Which is something we're worried about. So.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there were a couple of times where they're like, oh, look, Kirby's the only one that hasn't lost the stock yet, and stuff like that. And, sometimes if you just don't notice that, you don't notice it, right? But when it's coming over the speakers like that, so...
Yeah, right. So, for example, you're talking about a point where Kirby had, I think, 3 stocks left and everybody else had 2.
Right.
And it was getting towards the end of the round. And this is why I don't like free-for-all. Because there's some point where like the prisoner's dilemma takes over, and like it's in everybody's best interest to do one thing, but it's in each individual's best interest to not do that thing, and so it gets all wonky. And so nobody attacked Kirby, and he won.
Right. Yes. I saw that.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, so when I played free for all, I always did it by timer, so it was hard to tell who was winning and stuff like that. you could usually get an idea of it, but then it was kind of interesting because then you could let people beat each other up and then steal, kill steal and stuff like that. Fox was the best at that, dude.
Okay.
Because he just shot his lasers across the screen whenever someone got launched, and if your laser nicked them, then you got the point.
There you go.
Dude was so awesome.
That's pretty busted. Yeah. Now they also had other things, like there was the celebrity battle.
Yeah, I saw. The only person I knew was Zelda Williams. That was the only person
Same here.
I knew.
Yeah.
I didn't know who anybody else was.
I think that was not rare. I think a lot of people were in that boat, especially in that building. There was also the journalists' time where they fought.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, there wasn't really much point to it. I don't know how many times they had even played Smash. It was, or this version of Smash anyway. They were not that great.
Right.
But the players, really well played. I really liked how, I don't remember the woman's name, but the one who was playing Wii Fit Trainer.
Wii Fit Trainer, yeah.
I really liked how she did what I always do in free for all, which is just to run away until all the other idiots kill themselves. Just let them brawl and I'll just run away and then I'll win. And that took her to the grand finals.
Yep.
So that was, again, not a big free for all fan. So
dude, I'm telling you, man, that's why the time base works, because you can run all you want, you get no points. Time-based free-for-all is if you play free-for-all, it has to be timer. If you play 1 versus 1, it's got to be stock. That's how I feel about it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So what about the characters? Did you think you were able to come to any opinions about the characters?
So the one thing that stood out to me was that Bowser looked good. Like, his hits were hurting so much.
That's true,
they were launching people so far, and in the celebrity battle, I think the Bowser player won. But it just looked like when he did his down B, where he's butt stomps you, like it looked like people were getting launched a lot farther than they used to.
Yeah,
and such. So I know that they talked about balance and stuff, and Bowser's just been terrible, like in every game, because he just gets beat up and
Too
stuff.
slow
So that was actually one of the things that stood out to me. That it was really cool that they did look a little more balanced, a little more even. I really wish I saw Rosalina do more. But
yeah, that was, I think, one of the more disappointing parts to it. And I understand that to come up against, or to play with a puppet character like that, just the same day that you first played, I'm sure is not easy. And in their design of Rosalina, it seemed like she was kind of slow, kind of floaty. So clearly they're trying to make it so that the puppet is a major part of her gameplay, and presumably makes up for those weaknesses.
Right.
But you didn't really see that, so that was a little bit disappointing.
I didn't get to see any of Little Mac.
Little Mac was my dude.
From the Twitter, I just saw everyone going, "Oh my God, Little Mac!"
Little Mac is such an interesting looking character. It really is. So he isn't very good in the air. You could see.
Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't have very good mobility. His buttons don't seem that great. But on the ground, he has armor on some stuff. His smashes look pretty solid. He definitely launched some people. And I don't know exactly how you do it, but you're building up this KO meter. And when you get to the last hit, the KO. You basically KO somebody if you hit them. Like, it's not literally, but somebody I think went from 0% to 39% just by getting hit by the KO.
Oh dang! Okay.
And I also saw him kill characters when they were just at like 40%.
Oh
just
dang!
Like, bam,
Nice,
you could just
nice.
get KO'd.
Okay, nice.
It was really, really cool looking. And I like the mechanic. That's something that I would love to see more of in this kind of game, like those little interesting sub mechanics.
Yeah, I mean, we just did that yesterday with P4A Ultimax. How Junpei had the little baseball mechanic. Right. Every time characters have that special meter, it's really cool, and Little Mac has that, so that is
for sure
really cool.
I thought Mega Man looked kind of interesting. His down smash seems pretty good. His, what I assume is his up B, the little spinny spin across the ground,
actually
looked pretty good.
I don't think that might be down B, because I think up B is the rush when he springs off of rush, right?
Yeah, I guess probably is down B. But yeah, I thought that looked pretty good. I really liked Greninja's shuriken that he can throw, the little water shuriken, because it seems like it just carries people.
Gotcha.
Like he threw it and people were just getting carried by it pretty far.
I mean, the one interesting thing about Mega Man is that he's the only character that when he jumps, his air B attacks are significantly different than his ground B attacks, right? I wonder if they did that for anybody else. So, who was the character that I saw that was making me think that? might have been a trailer for a new character. It might have been Palutena actually. So they at the end of the conference they revealed Palutena, but she had like all sorts of different projectile weapons. So I was wondering if she had a big variety as well. But I mean, I don't know. I'm wondering if they did that with more characters, because for the most part they've stuck with the fact that the ground and air special moves are just alterations of each other, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
Kirby I thought looked cool. He's my secondary in Melee.
Okay.
After Dr. Mario, and his buttons looked good. I liked the movement. It seemed like there was a little bit more force to some of his stuff, which I liked.
Yeah, because in the original Smash Brothers on 64, throws were really buff.
Right.
Like back throws especially just like launched people. And it looked like, and then from there on the throws kind of got weaker, I felt like, and it looked like it was kind of strong again, because Kirby's, pile driver.
Right, it looked great, right?
It looked really good.
Looked really good.
So yeah.
Yeah, I was really happy to see that. I was kind of sad that there were no Donkey Kong players, there were no Samus, there wasn't a Bowser except for the celebrity.
The celebrity, yeah.
And there was one other character who was not picked. Oh, I think it was Link.
Link was not picked. Well, I mean,
again in celebrity.
Yeah, in celebrity. Yeah.
But yeah, I think those were the four. And that was too bad. I was really looking forward to seeing Donkey in particular, a little man grab guy.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is I'm always worried about the big characters, because they never really seem to do it. Except King Dedede was pretty good in Brawl, right?
I don't know how it ended up, man. I stopped paying attention.
Someone told me that Brawl, like all the Kirby characters were amazing because Sakurai
I played
created
Dedede
Kirby
back in the day, so he was my one of my two characters when I played that game competitively.
Okay,
but yeah, I don't know how it ended up.
Cool.
So a little bit of weird ending to it, I thought, in that the guy who ended up winning it was the guy who came through the fan vote.
Zero.
Zero, yeah. And he played great in the grand finals, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that the way he got there was maybe a little funky.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo's probably got a lot to learn about.
I think so.
Brackets and running stuff. But, hey, it's a great start. They got, I don't know what it maxed out at. I saw it at about 170,000 viewers watching concurrently. So that was fantastic.
That's awesome. I didn't know it was that many people.
Yeah.
I mean, I was not watching online, so I don't know. That's awesome. Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm super happy for them. I thought, like I said, I just really am glad to see them getting involved in this, and hopefully they'll keep doing it. Fizami even kind of hinted at it at the end. He was like, maybe we'll do it again. So I did appreciate the little pop-off he had at the end.
Great.
Dude. Yeah. I'm going to practice and come back and kick your ass.
That was awesome.
So this means if we commentate Smash at Evo, can we say ass now? Yeah, but no, that was really cool. Yeah, that's right. We haven't even talked about the Mii fighters yet.
Yeah. Well, you have the thing lined up.
Oh, yeah.
Do you wanna take a break? When we come back, I guess we'll just talk more about Smash.
Okay, sounds good. I'll play this when we come back.
We come back.
Okay, cool. We'll be right back.